Hey, what's going on, y'all? Happy Friday. Um, Here with another video that I want to share with you all. Haven't posted many videos this week. Just been busy and been trying to be more focused. So this is my first video for the week, and I want to just go over my trade from March 5th, Wednesday, first, and then I'll finish with today's trade. So March 5th was my worst day this week. I had a couple of bad days this week. Every day is not going to be a good day. But as you know, I like to, on my YouTube channel here, I like to keep it honest with y'all and just let y'all know the ups and downs of it. That's just how it go. So let's go ahead and get into it and see if we can learn some things. So, and before we get started, I'm just going to go to my YouTube page and to my description up here at the top. Click on more, and it pulls this up. And this is just my disclaimer that I'm here just to inform everyone of what's possible. This is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. So please just take the time to read this. Okay. So it's rough, man. This is not for anybody. Anybody could learn it if they, take the time to, learn it and are really driven to learn it, and really driven to succeed in it. Same way you take the time to get good at video games, or you take the time to get good at sports, or you take the time to just watch sports and, know every college basketball team or every professional football team or whatnot. Same way you put energy into, things like that. I take my energy. Same way you can, watch TV and know all the shows, the latest shows, this character did what and that character did this. That same energy, I kind of leave all that to the side, and I take that energy and I put it towards this. Something that's going to, benefit me in the future. But like with anything, when you're trying to, do good and you're trying to be better, of course, things happen. Situations happen where you get discouraged, things come up, and they feel like it just trying to keep you from like reaching your dreams and reaching your goals and or whatnot. So can't let those things discourage you, and you just have to, keep pushing, even when it don't look good. Keep pushing. I'm a prayer, so I believe in praying, as much as you can. But like they say, faith without deeds is dead. So you got to put in some action. Okay, so even for me, this is hard to stomach. So on Wednesday, March 5th, my account got this low. As you can see in the top right corner, negative 4.11K. And when I tell you your brother was hurting, I was hurting. But at the same time, today, I stuck to my guns. And I knew my plan. I might have didn't time it right, and I got in too early, and I'll show y'all that. But I knew my plan, and despite being down this, I did not sell for this loss. This is not a realized loss. This is an unrealized loss. It's not a loss until you sell it. When you're dealing with stocks and stock options, it's not a loss until you sell it. But man, when you see this, it makes you like just want to sell it. And the thing is, you don't have to let it get this far down like I did. Listen, You do not have to let it get -4. I could have sold it at negative, 500. I could have sold it at -100. I could have sold it at -1,000. I could have sold it at -2,000. I didn't have to let it get this bad. But I just knew where I knew it wanted to go. So where I knew the price of the stock would go. So here we go. Let's look at it. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you. It went from -4.11K to -8.4K. Eventually to -1.45K. Okay, I'm getting my money back. To eventually $477.31. Oh man, that's a lot better than -4.11K. I knew where I wanted to go, but I didn't time my entry right, and I didn't wait long enough. But when you know, you know. And I just had to wait it out. And man, when I tell you, I thank God for that. We bounced back from that -4.11K like I knew I would. I knew that I should. It doesn't always happen, but you just gotta know. You gotta know a little bit of what you're doing by looking at the previous day or the previous week, and you see patterns. Up, down, up, down, up, down. And if you see patterns, you know where it should go. You know where you think it should go, but it's not promised to go there. Nothing's 100% in life. We all know that. So from -$4.477 to a positive of 1,000.97K. And when I saw that, I'm telling you, I took it. I took it from being down -4.11K. But you just got to know what you're doing. You just got to know what you're doing. And you got to have the guts, big guts, to, withstand it if you mess up a little bit. So on March 5th, this was my first purchase. This is my option contract. A put for 574. When you buy a stock option put, you think that it's going to go down, and you think it's going to go down or past that strike price. I started out small, so I did at least do good in that sense, because it could have been worse actually. But because I started out small, it wasn't as bad, and it gave me time to bounce back. So I bought four for $1.58 at 9:44 a.m. on March 5th, 2025. And as you can see here, I bought 5, and then I bought 12. And then I sold 9, and then I sold 12. So with this one right here, I was up like $800 on this play, and I set my stop loss. And if you look at my past videos, and my YouTube video archive, you'll see that I always, typically buy all of my position. When I get in all at one time. As you know here, I'm trying to not do that by getting in a little bit by a little bit, and buy more as it's going in my direction. So funny thing happened is I put a stop loss and a tight stop loss. I'm like, okay, $800. This was my first trade. I had 2 trades March 5th. I'm like, okay, $800. I'll take that. I put my stop loss in, and of course, once you put your stop loss in, especially when you do it tight, it tends to, go to that order and sell it for you, instead of keep going above it so you can make more money. So I put my stop loss in. I thought for the whole 21 contracts, but for some reason it only sold 9 of them, and I didn't know. So I just saw a little quick order saying sold, but I didn't see that it only sold 9 instead of all 21. So I'm looking at the chart, and I said I'm gonna wait for my next move, and I see another order pop up on my screen. I'm like, what is that? it never sold the complete order. So my profit went from 800 to like 400 and some change. And man, when I tell you I put my head down, I held my head down, I'm like, man, why did it not sell all my contracts? I don't never just sell part of my contracts and then, sell the rest later on. I'm in and I'm out. So that's just a lesson, man. Sometimes when you sell stuff, just slow down, take a look at it, and make sure it was all sold. Whether it's a stop loss or a limit order or a market order, just make sure you sold them all so that don't happen to you. And this is my second order where I bought 41 contracts for $1.25. And it was a call, another call. Well, no, the first one was a put. I wrote that down. As soon as the market opened at 9:30, I wrote a put down to try to make 800, but made 400. And then I got into a call. I bought 41 contracts for a strike price of $5.83. Call, average price of $1.25 at 10:09. So I already marked my charts up to save time, a little time on this video from, having to draw my lines and stuff like that. So let's go over to the chart. Okay, so here we go with SPY. Let's make sure this is March 5th. Yeah, this is March 5th. So as you can see, 9:44. Is when I started buying. I bought some more at 9:45. Bought some more at 10 o'clock. So I started buying at this vertical green line, bought more at that vertical green line, bought a little more at that vertical green line. I sold out at that red line. I thought I sold out completely, but I didn't. So then I had to quickly sell the rest at that red vertical line. So from here to this red vertical line, I made $800. But because I didn't sell all my orders like I intended, I had to sell the other half of my orders, actually a little more than half, right here at 10 o'clock for a profit of 400 instead of 800. Good thing I did, because as you can see, there was a nice, tall, powerful green candle there. And when I'm in a put, I don't want to see no green. I want to see red. A stock option put means you think the stock is going to go down. So from 9:44 to 9:57, I made $800. That's how that's how it should have happened. All right, so up $400, I decided to take another trade. This line right here is where I started. Because I got this nice, strong, powerful green candle, that was a good sign. And it came above this red moving average here, the 200. And because that was a good sign, I got in a call thinking it was going to keep going up. But when you're trading stocks or stock options, whatever you buy, oftentimes it just seems like they know what you're doing, and it does the opposite. So when I got in the call, look what happened. Call means you think the stock is going to go up. It turned red, down, up, down. That's not what I wanted. When I'm in a call, I want to see green, not red. So that was the beginning of me being down almost 4.11K. And I think around here at that bottom is, when I was down the most, 4.11K. But I knew that it wanted to go up. I'm gonna show you how you kind of look at the previous days to kind of get rhymes and rhythms and see patterns. So basically it went down during the beginning of the day, and then it went up during the second half of the day. Let's scroll back to yesterday. Let's see if we see anything similar. So this is March 4th. Down in the beginning of the day, up the second half of the day, or more. So when you see patterns like that, and this is just, one previous day, but you tend to see, the further you look back, the more you can see and kind of get an idea of how you want to trade and, have your plan. So this is what I was expecting. And even though I was down over $4,000, I knew this is what it wanted to do, because there was a pattern pretty much all this week similar to this. So I'm going to scroll back over to March 5th. And look what happened for the rest of the day. Just what I knew it wanted to do, and which is why I held out even though I was down negative 4K. And because, I had the guts, in an original plan, even though my timing wasn't right, I waited out. So, because I was down, let me show you. Because I was down right here, where I started my second play, I actually bought more right here at a cheaper price, because I was down 4.11K from here to here. So the value of my contracts went down dramatically. So when you buy more cheap, you kind of average in, and then when you buy them cheap, it goes up. The value of those cheap contracts goes up, as well as the value of being down negative 4.11K, as I showed you in the first screen, the earlier screenshots of how the price changed. The value of those negative 4.11K goes negative 3K, negative 2K, negative 1K, and so on. So you're getting your money back. I'm getting my money back from this mess up, not waiting and catching the bottom. So I'm getting my money back for that first play, that first call, and I'm also making money for buying more cheap at the bottom. Fortunately, it was the bottom. Because some things go down and they might stay down for the rest of the day, but it just depends on, the history, the patterns, and the... So, I'm out here when I was up 1.97K, almost basically $2,000. And man, was that a comeback. So in hindsight, if I would have got in at the bottom, instead of getting in my call here, if I would have waited and got in my call here, instead of making $2,000 on Wednesday, March 5th, Wednesday, you might as well should have added that negative 4K to that 2K if I would have just got in completely right here at the bottom and wrote it up. And some people who have, more trades, more money, and they took that put and wrote it down, they could make money while it's going down, versus me waiting it out until it go back up with a put, and then sell it here and make money with it going back up. So still learning, still trying to sharpen my craft. But went from down over 4K to up 2K. So a $2,000 in a day is pretty darn good to me. And I'll take that any day over negative 4K. But like I say, just so you see, as it's going down and my value is going down, let's say I got in here, negative 100, negative 200, negative 300, negative 500, back up, negative 1,000, negative 3,000, negative 3.5, negative 4, negative 4,000. I could have sold it here. I could have sold it here. I could have sold it once it got below that red line. I could have sold it once it got, it looked like it was starting to come back up. Maybe before like a negative, 1,200 loss, and accepted that, $1,200 loss or $800 loss because it's coming back up before it go back down. I could have sold, at negative 2.5K, negative 3K, or I could have sold at 4K, negative 4K, but I didn't. I knew my plan. So those are just lessons, and that's why I do these videos. So when I go back, I can see my mistakes, what I could have did better, what I did do right, and just, sharpen my craft. So we're going to go from March 5th, Wednesday, to Friday, March 7th. So luckily in my even though today it was a rocky week, but my last 3 days were profitable. Ended the week profitable. Not much as I could have had, but did end the week profitable. I think I made like $1,000 this week between what I lost and what I made back. Like $1,000 this week, so I'll take that. So basically, a similar thing happened to me today, Friday. I tried to be patient. I waited. I didn't get in first thing in the morning. I didn't buy anything until like 10 o'clock, 10:04. As you can see with this vertical line, I was looking for a call due to this price action. I waited for it to come back down, and I was hoping it bounced off that red line, that red moving average, the 200, which is just an average of how the price moves. So the line just represents a smooth version of how the price is moving. The candles represent the price. So it bounced off that red line. I'm just thinking, okay, it's going to be support, and it's going to keep going up. Of course, like I tell you, oftentimes when you're a beginner, it tends to do the opposite of what you think it's going to do, even though you know where it want to go. And it know where it want to go, but it's going to either shake you out, or you just got people trying to make money to the downside while you're in the call. So I'm in the call, and it goes down from 10:04 to 11:08. I'm just basically watching my money bloop, 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 go away. So because I started small, and I started here at 10:04, but I think that was like 4 contracts. I think a couple minutes later I did another 4 or 5, and then so on. And then this was my next big purchase, because I kind of figured at 565, I sensed that was the floor, based off history, based off my intuition, based off, the news, because they had Fed Chair Jerome Powell about to speak at 12:30. So I figured this was the bottom. So I kind of held off after like halfway of buying anymore until I got here. So I bought more there. Same contracts that I bought here. 578 strike price. But then I also bought a different contract, 576, because I was thinking maybe it won't go all the way back up to 578 from 565. That's kind of far away. So I bought a different contract here of 576 instead of 578. I said, okay, it's possible it can make it back up to 576. Maybe not 578. So as like Wednesday, the money I was, slowly losing here, I think I only got down to like a negative $2,200, $2,300, $2,400 once I reached that bottom. So not as bad as Wednesday. Kind of learned my lesson a little bit, but still made the same mistake, but it wasn't as bad. And then I saw it coming up, and I was wanting to get in the call somewhere around here, but sometimes I'm hesitant, and I'm like, maybe it's going to reject and come back down. But it didn't. Luckily, that was the bottom. And as you can see, even though it was choppy, it muscled it way up towards the end of the day. Thankfully. So I made back the money that I lost here. I made it back here to that red line, that red vertical line. And I also made money from this second buy for a call to that red line. So because I knew it was making a reversal and going back up, I went in a little heavier and bought a lot of contracts there. And that made up the difference from the first call I bought here. So if I wouldn't have bought this, I would have just wound up basically break even, or maybe like $100, $200 at that point right here. But because I bought them at a cheaper price to help me get my money back and some, it worked out, and I made just under $3K today, Friday. And that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna leave it at that. It's been a wild week, but I'm learning. So happy Friday to everybody. Hope y'all enjoyed y'all weekend. Stock market is closed on weekends. For anybody that don't know, it's not open Saturday and Sunday. So I'm going to enjoy my weekend. Do a little homework, do a little research, and kind of get ready for next week. And try to set up a plan for next week to make more money. All right, that's it. Peace.